good? All right. Good afternoon and welcome to Dodgeville's graduation ceremony for the class of 2021. My name is Natalie Getzke and I am the president of the senior class. I would like to thank everyone in attendance today, whether you are family, friends, staff, administration, and all of you who helped us get here today. Mr. Storkson, Hammer, Denny, and Ernie. Thank you, especially to you for what a legacy to share today with. As we have been told over the past year by many, many people, you guys are making history. When you have children and grandchildren, you'll be able to tell them of your senior year and how you survived a pandemic. Sounding almost excited about something that has not been even a little bit exciting. This past year has been one of uncertainty. Plans that we have had or were changed, altered, and it seemed like we were living in constant fluctuation. It was exhausting. However, we probably did learn a lot of things no senior class before has learned, because we had to. We learned that early morning classes in college are not a good idea. Checking your email happens to be very important, possibly even more important than our Snapchat. Or simply we learned that having people around like friends, classmates, and well, teachers is necessary to our happiness. As one of the student council co-presidents, I was involved in trying to make plans in this chaotic time. In one of these planning meetings, I was reminded of something a really hard-working man once told me. Remember to plan the fun things, because all those not so fun things, they happen anyway. And so this celebration is happening. After months of uncertainty, the plan for some fun pays off. Mr. Bonzak, thank you for the support and thank you for the advice. Today we are here together, starting what may be a new tradition of having graduation outside. Today is a great day to be a Dodger, and today is a wonderful day to celebrate all of our great accomplishments, achievements, and all that is to come.
Good afternoon, respected guests and members of the community, staff, friends, family, and fellow graduates. We are honored to be standing here in front of you today to commemorate all the accomplishments and memories of our great class. Our class chose the quote, "The struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose," by Chadwick Boseman for our class motto. There are few quotes that I can think of that are more fitting for the class of 2021, as our world has been flipped upside down during both our junior and senior years. This year, we have a unique group of students who are graduating.
We can't walk up here and announce that we are all best friends or we're a great team despite coming together to win Powder Puff our freshman year against the undefeated big-time seniors, because that's certainly not the truth. The 8 of us standing before you provide a great representation of how different we are as individuals. We are a valedictorian, a basketball star, a gifted artist, a queen of the diamond, an aspiring astrophysicist, a Division II athlete, a musician, and an underestimated genius. We can't convince you that this year has shown us how similar we are, but we can tell you how it has shown us all the beautiful differences.
This year was unlike anything anyone had ever seen before, but besides the drawbacks we may have individually encountered, collectively we have learned a lot. On a large scale, this year has taught us one of two things: either that we were as ready as we hoped we were, or how ready we weren't. With all of us going through similar experiences, yet reacting so differently, life created the divide. Some of us thrived in virtual school and used the newfound independence to our advantage, working incredibly hard, trying to ignore the fact that the world, for a brief moment, was falling apart. The other section of us embraced the mayhem by engaging in sports, musicals, clubs, hanging out with friends, and going with the flow.
United, we all dealt with the woes of virtual and rotating in-person learning. Even the kids who don't ever accept anything less than 100% ended up slacking off a little bit. And those who are used to slacking off continued in their ways. And I'll ask my fellow graduates, raise your hand if you slept through even one class this year. The chaos of school during COVID included a new dress code consisting of pajamas, having our pets join our classes, and attending class anywhere.
This pandemic has proved to be one of the hardest tests during our schooling, yet what many don't realize is the impact these unfortunate events have on our lives can be overcome by the effort we place in improving our circumstances. Learning this from past experiences, our class did not victimize itself. We had to face a multitude of barriers, but demonstrated resilience with our unrelenting will to succeed. We are able to stand here today despite all of the setbacks and obstacles because our drive, our perseverance, and our willpower to endure is stronger than any hindrance we may have faced.
Studying and mastering new material is difficult enough with the help of our amazing teachers. In addition to the responsibilities of helping more at the house, working an essential job, or other challenges that came with being at home, it seemed impossible to keep up with schoolwork. Now, as we step into adulthood and start to reach our goals, there will be harder challenges to overcome. But our willpower has proven to be lasting. As long as we use our uncompromising will, we are an unstoppable force. Although the pandemic has tested us in ways we never predicted, it also functioned as one of the most enlightening lessons.
What we can do is choose how we respond to it as we take these next steps in life. It can be hard to imagine what life could look like as time progresses.
The only certainty we have is that as time goes on, the future will arrive. Whether we plan to go to college, trade school, the military, or straight into the workforce, there is no denying that society will gain something worthwhile. The situation we are living through shows how valuable everyone is in society. The world is finally realizing the importance of jobs like janitors, cashiers, teachers, politicians, first responders, and more. Whatever we plan to do after we graduate, it will impact society.
We can use this pandemic as an excuse for why we can't move on in life, or we can use it as a motivator to find our purpose. The struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. If we continue to look at COVID as a loss, we will have gained nothing. We all deserve to celebrate and be proud of ourselves, not only for what we have endured this year, but for everything that has led up to this moment. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Wow, what an amazing day. Who would have thought that 21 years ago in my graduation ceremony, the guest speaker would have told me that I would have to wear sunscreen. And it's very much come into play here today, making sure that we would have these last 2 years with an opportunity to have an outdoor graduation. And you're right, who knows what the future is going to hold for what the traditions look like for schools. Thank you all for coming here today. Over this past week, I've gotten time to reflect on the message to give to the senior class. As we've been filled with many inspirational stories through the distinguished alumni, listening to staff, as well as our students. And yes, you are right, you do have to plan those special events because the work will always be there. All year, the staff and I have been very appreciative of how supportive and flexible. I will tell you that echo throwing me off. Have been very appreciative and supportive of how flexible and patient you students have been as we've collaborated through these new routines. We've challenged you to think about the good of all and making sacrifice to keep you focused on the thing that you can control and the things you cannot. You control your thoughts, your words, your choices, your actions, your reactions, and your future. Normal will have a much different look and different meaning, and anxiety can be very real. You have to learn to lean into the cause of your anxiety. Don't let it take control. You are in charge. Take care of people, and more importantly, take care of yourself. At this time, close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes. Take in everything around you. Make every moment matter. Give yourself permission to let go of past mistakes. Admit they happened. Apologize, forgive others, try again, and start over. The best and most beautiful May and June comes from a rainy April. Not all stories have glorious endings. Failure should happen, and you should understand why it happened to learn from it. Pressure yourself to excel and quit pouting. The distinguished alumni speakers gave us many great quotes to live by. They emphasized the importance of building relationships, creating partners, because you never know who you're going to work for someday. Be proud to be graduates of Dodgeville High School and where you are from. Your education is important, and it is never too late to go back to school to start over to make an impact. Find a career that inspires you on Monday mornings. Ernie, you are an inspiration to all of us. Class of 2021, you have exemplified your attributes in each of the Dodger core abilities. You have proven to care, to achieve, to thrive, to serve, to collaborate, and to do things your way. Without a doubt, I can confirm to the Dodgeville School Board, you have met the requirements to be considered graduates. Congratulations, class of 2021. It is my pleasure to introduce our student address speaker, Mr. Scott Storkson.
This might be the coolest, toughest job I've ever had. What a day. What a wonderful, wonderful day. It's an incredible privilege to be asked to speak today. Today of all days. This truly is an honor. Parents and family members here in attendance, it always amazes me, the feeling of this day. How overwhelming the sensation of pride and excitement and relief. Whether this is your first graduate or your last, the day is here, and it's incredible. Now, friends and family, don't think me rude, but I'm really not here to talk to you today. It's these folks right here. These young friends I want to spend a few minutes with. Hello, my young friends. It really is nice to see you again. More importantly, it's nice to see you here, now. When I was asked to speak to you today, I have to say, I struggled with the control of the emotion. How can this be? It just doesn't seem possible. How are you right here already? I thought back over the years, for I have a personal in with you as you've grown. I tried to think about the milestones. I was instantly overwhelmed. I thought back as early as I could. Well, nothing came to mind about all of you if I went back before school started. Then Betty Hayes' dance recitals hit me. Don't laugh, boys. It wasn't just the girls dressing up in those glittery costumes. Oh, what performances those were. You certainly didn't lose any time making your mark on our world. Little tap shoes, amazing choreography, shuffle, tap, shuffle, tap. Oh, but don't think you all escaped the spotlight. Church concerts and preschool programs made sure that none of you lost your chance to sparkle. Then it was here, that incredible first day of school. Whether it snuck in through preschool programs or it came straight at you, suddenly you were at school. No matter how big that school seemed, you wouldn't be lost for long. Once you started with school, you didn't seem to lose a step. Classwork, artwork, writing, reading, oh, you were on it. You took home those papers, those art projects, those booklets. Your work covered the house. After school activities, here they were. Your day had come. Barn dances and sock hops, fish fries, programs. Oh, there were so many cool things to do. You dragged your parents to every single one of them you could. Don't think for a minute they didn't love those times just as much as you did. Why, right now, they're thinking back on you and your friends running around so excited. Those are memories that bring tears to parents' eyes. Middle school, sports teams, band, choir concerts. You are not going to lose a minute. Remember that first time you stepped out onto that field, that court, that stage? Remember what it felt like when you realized just where you were? You weren't sure if you were going to faint, make your mark, make a puddle, but you were not going to lose your chance. That was so cool. High school. Your time to shine for real. Your time to take charge. The importance, the excitement, the difficulty, the demands were not lost on you. Parts of high school were hard. Balancing classes and homework and clubs and work, sports, music, family, and friends. You were not going to miss out. But man, this was tough to balance. But you got it. You figured it out. You found a way to keep things together. You really weren't lost in all this. In fact, you just about had it all mapped out. And then it changed. The world stopped. You learned what virtual really meant. You sprang to support those seniors you had spent so much time with. We might lose prom, but they were losing graduation. You lifted them up and helped them celebrate as best as they could. You wanted them to lose as little as possible. Ironic, isn't it? Then your last year started. The one. The year to end all of these school adventures. The milestone of all milestones. The entire senior year. This is the one to truly leave your mark. Instead, the last year became the lost year. After all those adventures, never missing a step, you worked your way to this last year. How many times I heard you say, it's lost. It's my senior year and it's lost. I thought about that a lot these last few weeks. Yep, lost. Then I thought about, what does lost really mean? Gone? Never to be found? Irretrievable? Was that true? Was this past year really gone? That question haunted me. We were here. You were here. The year didn't go away. How was it gone? Oh, the usual events, they're changed forever. Yes, you're right. No homecoming, no concerts, no huge home crowds, no musical, no dances, no community programs, no school day as usual, no live audience for that stage. The changes were hard. But then I came back to questioning the lost year. A year gone? More and more, we began to see new seniors, the leaders stepping into your roles so differently than any other class before you. Some of you took it upon yourself to find the best way for you to learn under the circumstances that seemed to keep you from learning. So many of you found ways to grow your academic selves. Some of you stepped outdoors to explore your passions beyond the classrooms: nature, farming, mechanics, music, the stage, athletics. Many of you used the time to come to life in your newfound passion. I couldn't see that as a loss. Some of you found that more time at home gave you the chance to connect with family in meaningful, fulfilling ways. We watched as more and more of you found yourselves giving to others. You stepped into volunteer positions. You worked as CNAs. You gave of your time, your concern. How can that be a loss? Some of you found the importance of work in your life. You went to work, and you took on the responsibilities that work required. You balanced, you juggled, you prioritized, and you began to learn how to do those things, so that you could do something with yourselves. Frankly, some of you learned to balance those things better than many adults. That's not a loss. Some of you used this past year to really explore who you are. What direction do you want to go? You might have determined that what you want to do in the future requires further schooling. Maybe you decided it didn't. You sought out the options, explored the possibilities, researched apprenticeships, and you made decisions pretty much on your own. Spoiler alert, that is a trailer for adulthood. And you did it. Not perfectly, but you did it. How can that be a loss? I don't see a loss. As a class, your class motto quotes Chadwick Boseman. The struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. I know it's the right motto for you prove the words correct. You have missed some things, events you held as tradition and rites of passion. But you move on with less need for rites and traditions and more dependence on yourself to set your course, to move ahead, to succeed. That is not a loss. You and only you have made this year a void of the past and poised for the future. You have made this a year to take a more active role in your world, in your choices, in your future. Whether you are ready to take on that school, to start that job, or to put on that uniform, You are taking this last year and making it count. It is different, but it is not lost. I've been listening to my new favorite song quite a bit lately. Oh, it's not an upbeat track that lightens the mood. Quite the contrary. Burn from Hamilton is the opposite. The last artist I heard sing this song helped me to understand the meaning behind the piece. In the lyrics, Eliza laments the horrible position she's in through no fault of her own. Her only thought was, as the song reaches the chorus, is that she wants Hamilton to burn for what he has done. It's a haunting song, with gloom and depression, not so different from the way many of you felt during this year. But as the last verse unfolds, Eliza comes to life, making it incredibly clear that she would not let that which she had no control over dictate her future. She would take charge. She would write the narrative. Hamilton could burn, but she would not. This makes me think about you. Hopefully Lin-Manuel Miranda doesn't mind if I twist his words a bit. Fueled by the fire of all that didn't go the way you wanted to this past year, I hope you burn with a desire to take control of all you do. I hope you burn with the need to make your mark on the world with your work, your service, your kindness, and your insight. I hope you burn with the love of friends and family, for they need you as much as you need them. I hope you burn with a pride that you are important to this world, to your community, to the future. I hope you burn with the knowledge that the sadness of this year, missed events, the isolation, the frustrations have not made you any less amazing. In fact, they've made you more so. Class of 2021, you will do well. You will find your place. You will succeed. Nothing has been lost, for you are greater now than you were before. As a teacher, I'm excited to see where you go. As a parent, I couldn't be more proud.
Olivia Jo Benish Argle. Owen David Berkacher. Ashley Catherine Bell. Emma Leah Bird. Zachary Michael Brewer. Gretchen Rose Bruger. Maxwell Scott Bruger. Madison Sky Bullington. Tyler Colin Chitwood. Alexis Michelle Christensen. Jordan Christopher Clower. Kaylee Jean Dosicle. Jack Joseph Doherty. Sarah Marie Doherty. Joshua James Dressler. Cannon Jeffrey Faulkner. Peyton Michael James Fry. Loudon Charles Furstenberg. Charles Terrence Giesking. Gavin Christopher Gilly. Destiny Deanne Gable. Natalie Paige Gable. Natalie Faith Getsky. Martina Rose Hageman. Clyde May Hansen. Jojo Elizabeth Heimrow. Isaiah Joseph Hines. Emily Marie Hess. Sophia Marie Levac. Jenna Catherine Hine. Emily Catherine Jackson. Christian Daniel Jacobson. Aaliyah Marie James. Justin Harlan James. Olivia Jane Jebbia. Bo Jeffrey Jewell. Matthew Robert Jones. Gwendolyn Jean Cass. Benjamin Charles Klopp. Leah Noel Yeshua Cord. Jaron Lee Krecha. Kylie Marjorie Krell. Drew Scott Lateral. Caitlin Diane McCoy. Brittany Lynn McGauley. Lilybell Michelle McNamer. Paige Lee Meese. Danielle Ann Mykrit. Cole James Miller. Brett Joseph Miska. Austin William Montag. Bailey K. Murphy. Sean Michael Mussman. Drake Michael Nones. Amaya Marina Michelle Novakovic. Miles Odiera. Austin William Phelan. Macy Lee Phelan. Anita Jane Phillips. David Charles Pipcorn. Logan Jackson Prophet. Nathaniel Gurdon Putman. Elijah Allen Reeson. Destiny Ann Reinhardt. Kenya Naeli Reyes Mendez. Riley Marie Rickley. Joanna Michelle Rocco. Brielle Brenda Roth. Anna Rose Rulin. Sam Ellis Sims. Scott Orville Smith Jr. Cora Elizabeth Stortson. Joshua Andrew Stoughton. Damian James Strutt. Emily Delight Sullivan. Brittany Elizabeth Thompson. Jessica Rose Binger. Anthony Paul Vivian. Casey Douglas Wire. Audrey Jean White. Livia Faye Winch. Lily Ann Wood. Kendra Lynn Yeager. Michael David Zoot. We will have Natalie do the turning of the tassel. Excellent. That's right, we do have a change there. Cora.
All right, can we have Ernie come up to the stage? Good afternoon, I'm Cora Storkson, and I have the honor to recognize a staff member who served the Dodgeville School District and community for 50 years. Ernie Leuthold graduated from Dodgeville High School in May of 1970 and started working for the district in 1971. Over the span of his service, he has worked for 5 principals. Ernie strives to make a good environment for all students to learn their best in. He will always meet you in the hallway with a smile and an energy that can light up a room. We would like to make Ernie an honorary member of the class of 2021 and thank him and congratulate him on 50 years of service. Dodgeville. Dodgeville is extremely lucky to have someone with a quality person and believes so much in creating a healthy environment for its students. Best of luck, Ernie, on your future endeavors.
All right, Dodgeville, you guys can stand up. Stand up. All right, congrats, class of 2021. We're graduated.